Hello, everyone. Welcome to Goopcast, Episode 2. I'm Ted, and I'm here with...
Cooper.
Carson.
Travis.
The gang's all here, baby, and we're here to
Yes.
pod the cast. That's right.
It's time.
Pretty hot.
Wait, so to the people listening, I should explain. Two of these people weren't here last time. So
It's
Ted and
true.
Travis, completely new to you unless you're familiar with stuff I do. So if you guys want to introduce yourselves to the audience, what do you guys do?
Travis, would you like to go?
Sure, dude. I stream on Twitch and YouTube, you know what I'm saying?
You stream on YouTube?
And upload videos on YouTube, not stream.
There we go.
I'm a YouTuber, and I make videos online, and I do... I don't really know what I make commentary and also on the streets and also whatever I think is funny. So that's my channel, baby. Keep it
Nice.
spicy.
Nice.
Yes.
That was good. I like that.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Carson.
So Ted, since you did the intro, you got anything close to the heart you want to talk about today?
Close to heart I want to talk about today.
What's on your mind? What's been ailing you?
I don't understand why people think that Parmesan goldfish is the best kind of goldfish. It's
Who
clearly
said
wrong.
that?
What?
Someone told me that the other day, and I
It's
was
white
like,
cheddar. Or sorry, no, it's flavor blasted.
yeah,
Goldfish.
flavor right next
Yeah,
to me
dude,
right now.
that's where it's at.
I've got white cheddar
I
flavor
was-
blasted, which I'm very curious about. But
That's wacky.
some people, I think, it's a touchy topic, honestly, because people.
Who is saying this?
Yeah, who
Man,
the fuck are you talking to that said
it's-
Parmesan? I've never even seen Parmesan goldfish.
I'm talking.
Neither have I.
I'm
How's
talk-
that the best one? I ain't even seen it.
I'm talking like the bland, like pasty Parmesan ones, which is exactly. I've heard this from at least 3 different people within the last 2 months.
So to clarify, you're not talking about a default vanilla goldfish, right?
No,
Just
I'm
a
talking
normal-
about modded goldfish here. I'm talking about the Parmesan mod.
Okay.
But I'm a big fan of the flavor blasted. But then when I say I love flavor blasted, people are like, "Ah, I can't handle the flavor blasted, man. That shit gets all over my freaking, hands, and it gets all over the place." Which I'm like, okay, that's like a situation I'm willing to,
oh,
deal
yeah.
with.
Well, of course.
There's
Yeah, I
workarounds.
mean, that's
A fork?
a given when you're eating a cheesy snack,
Mm-hmm.
If you're eating cheeses, you're gonna get a little bit of orange on your fingers.
Of course.
So flavor blast is just a tiny bit extra. It's actually a little bit of a treat,
And it makes
because
it so
afterwards
good.
you're like, well, now I've got a little bit of extra flavor on my fingers, and you.
Yeah, I go as far to call it a gift. Really.
Yeah,
A
you get a
gift.
little. You get the
Dust.
cheese, and you get a little bit of extra little grime and dust. It's tasty. It's good for your immune system.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
So, anyways, I wanted to talk about some food and authentic food because I personally tonight just went out for dinner with my sister and a large group of people in the Mandarin Club at local college, and I got authentic Chinese food. Have you guys ever had authentic Chinese
No,
Yeah.
food? It is covered in spices.
it
Oh
is.
yeah.
I've been to China.
Have you actually?
Yeah.
I don't think you have.
No, I went to China sophomore year in high school.
What'd you go there for?
Well, I was walking through the hallway at my high school back in Mass, and I saw this sign on the wall, and it said, "Want to go to China? Want to see the Great?" I think I remember specifically. It said, "Want to see the Great Wall? Come to this info session." And I was like, I mean, I want to see the Great Wall. So I went to this info session, and it was basically this China trip. It wasn't really specific to they offered Mandarin at my high school, but it wasn't really specific to that program, So it was I don't know. It just ended up being a China trip that anyone could go on, really. And
Your parents
paid-
had to give you a bunch of money though, right, to do it?
well, I paid for half, and my parents paid for the other half.
right.
So,
They had that at my school, and they do a
yeah.
different country every year.
Yeah, so it was weird though. It was a one-time thing though. But basically, the whole trip, it was 14 days. It was happening over like the spring break kind of like week long thing, but it was a little bit longer than that. It was like, I think it was maybe 11 days. But we started in Beijing, and then we went to Xi'an, which is in like the middle of, that's where the Terracotta Warriors are. And then we went to Shanghai, and then we took a bus south to a smaller city, but it was still like fucking like 10 million people. So I guess it was just like by comparison, it was smaller, but it was a Suzhou. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but and then we went back to Shanghai, and then we flew out from Shanghai.
I'm curious because I've never been out of the U.S. or anything. Like, how many other places besides the U.S. have you actually been, Ted?
Other than like fucking China, that China was actually the first time that I had gone outside of the U.S. too. Besides Canada, you know, because fucking Canada, like you know,
Doesn't really count.
yeah. I mean, I'm from like fucking New England, so like it's not that hard to get to Canada.
Yeah.
But I had never really gone like overseas, I guess. So China was the first one, and then I guess maybe senior. It was either junior or senior. There was like a choral program trip thing that was to Spain and France. So I've been to Spain, France, and China, and Canada. But yeah, the big one I guess was China, which was weird. It was like you had to, and the thing is too about going to China is that you have to like get a visa, because they make it really hard for people from America to go to China, and then like we do our country does the same thing for them. So there's like this whole.
Well, you have to get a visa for like most places.
Well,
outside of the U.S.
Well, if you want to like visit it, I don't know. It's like their visa process is like significantly harder than I guess what's normal, I guess. But it was like this whole 6-month process.
Vastly different culture.
Yeah. Oh, totally. It was like
They don't want a shit ton of Americans running around all the time, I guess.
yeah. I think one of the biggest things I noticed about Asia that's different than the United States is the amount of people that use bikes, like motorcycles and stuff. It's like they allocate a lot more of the street to like having bike lanes and stuff, and it's like there's so many. It's like
I think that's the way it is in most Asian countries.
America
Yeah,
is
if you
different
think of-
from every other country because
Yeah.
America is truck SUV land, and everywhere else
Yeah.
has graduated from massive fucking land vehicle
Yeah.
to more appropriate.
like even
transportation
European
methods.
countries. Even European countries don't really have pickup trucks. Like when I was
Yeah,
in-
they've got
when-
little fucking doot little boobs.
yeah, little doot boys.
Yeah.
American cities are all built up for cars too.
Yeah, they
because
Yeah.
of like the timing they were built.
Oh, that is true. It's definitely, yeah. No, I agree. Beijing smells like cigarette smoke. The air.
So does San Francisco.
Beijing is so polluted. My sister went to Beijing.
I saw one day though where
she
there was
took
blue
pictures
skies.
of the pollution.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like somehow worse than LA, and LA is crazy.
Oh.
I had never experienced LA skies.
LA
Like
wasn't that bad.
like
compared-
cloudy in the morning. No. LA pollution is crazy. Okay, where I live, the clouds don't just evaporate at a certain day, part of the day every morning.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. That's so true. It starts so cloudy in the morning and then it just goes away by fucking noon.
It just disappears. LA is like,
I think that's a California thing.
Yeah, I
all
think
of
it is.
California is like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that I agree.
It's just
like
a different climate.
it just starts
Is
pretty
that a climate thing or is
Well,
it a pollution thing?
No, it starts pretty cool in the morning, but around like 1 or 2 o'clock is like it gets pretty hot.
That's the desert. That's what the desert does.
Yeah.
Cool
Yeah.
at night, way too hot in the middle of the day.
Yeah, like my best friend Tucker, he currently lives in the desert. Because he's a Marine and he lives in the fucking Mojave Desert, and in the winter
Yeah.
it gets to like -20, but like in the summer it gets to like 120. So it's like,
Yeah.
Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
international viewers, Fahrenheit.
what?
Just for people who use Celsius.
Oh,
clarifying.
yeah. Oh yeah, it get to no, I don't even
I have no fucking idea.
in the summer it get to 5 Celsius. In winter it get to -2. Big difference. No, I'm just roasting
I mean-
Celsius for some reason. I don't know.
Stupid Celsius users. Everyone
Stupid.
out of the United States. Everyone normal. Stupid Celsius
What
users.
even is? How do you
95
measure your shit for celery, dude? What the fuck?
Celery doesn't even have any calories. Why do we even
Honestly, it's just
Don't even-
water crunch.
Yeah. Fucking.
Really though, Cooper.
Hmm.
Even when we went to San Jose, I thought there were like it was normal clouds. I thought it was just a like L.A. Anaheim type of deal.
It was chilly months. Chilly months in California, clouds all day.
I guess that's fair.
When I went to
During
where my
summer, it do
There's-
that.
There's been a lot more rain in California though than normal.
Yes. People decide it's time to crash my vehicle every time it rains. So
Yeah.
it's
One of the
been,
things,
it's
though-
been an interesting year
Going-
so far.
Going back to what we had originally, what I originally talked about in terms of the China versus like the authentic food and stuff. I guess what I noticed when I was in China that I immediately noticed, because I got Chinese food right when I got back to China, because I was like, I wanted to see like the difference. 'Cause I
Compare.
yeah, exactly. First thing, American Chinese food is all of it is yellow. All of it is just yellow food.
What do you mean?
It's all of it like is the color yellow, or it has a shade of yellow.
What?
Really? It looks
Like, have
normal
you ever
to
thought
me.
about that? Crab
No.
rangoons, lo mein,
Oh,
any of the
I
any of
kinda
the
see what you're
chickens.
talking about now.
Pretty much like any of the noodles, like I mean, obviously if you have vegetables, like they're not going to be fucking yellow, but like most of like the food that you're eating is like this kind of like yellowish, like fried or like, you know, but with like,
Listen, dude, I ate a Chinese donut once, and that wasn't yellow. That was white.
yeah. Oh, you want to hear fucking my toughest experience though in China was in Shanghai, where I experienced my hardest experience with the language barrier, because I don't speak a fucking word of Mandarin.
Oh, of course.
And I was spending 11 days there, so all they taught me really was this tour guide John. He was a fucking badass. But they taught us like a few words, like it was like shusha, thank you, and then for like any of the vendors, it was buyao, which is just apparently just translates to I don't want. So like whenever someone would come and try to sell you something, you'd just be like buyao, buyao. But when I tried, they have McDonald's in China, but they have like these ice cream stands, just like singular ice cream stands. There's no whole McDonald's. It's just literally just an ice cream stand that's McDonald's brand, I guess. That I guess you can just get a fucking ice cream. So I wanted to get an ice cream, and they had two flavors. They had vanilla and green tea, and then they had green tea twist. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to get vanilla, and I'm just going to point to the picture of vanilla. I get up to the front. Oh, shoot. The only pictures they have is green tea and vanilla twist. So, like, I'm going up to this guy, and I'm, like, trying to, like, with my hand, isolate and point to just the part of the ice cream cone picture that involves the vanilla. And this person is just, like, so confused. And I had already seen someone in front of me who was with our group. They were asking for vanilla, and they got the twist, and they were like, oh, fuck. And, like, the green tea wasn't really that fucking good. So I was really determined, and I was working with this guy for, like, 5 minutes until this guy behind me said something in Mandarin. I assume it was vanilla, because I turned around, he was like, vanilla, right? And I was like, yeah, my man. Yeah. It was like he didn't say it, like, in my fucking...
East
fucking
Coast
very-
accent.
Yeah, East Coast
Yeah.
American accent. But yeah, I mean, that guy had my back, and I hope he's doing well these days.
What made your tour guide such a badass?
I don't know. He was just like such a funny guy. Like I don't know. He'd been working with this tour group for like so long, and I think he's just like one of those like kind of veterans where he wasn't really like fake in the sense that like he had like that script that he goes through, you know. It was more like he was just like a real person that was like going throughout China, because he followed us. He was with us. We were doing this through a certain tour group. This was like EF Tours, I think. And he was with us the whole time. So he would get on the plane with us, the domestic flights across China. He would go with us to Xi'an and then to Shanghai. So he was
Right.
with us that whole time. So it was like we got to know him and stuff. So yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. I think the other this is my last thing I'll say about this, but the only other cool thing I think that was, or the only other, it was fucking cool all around. But one of the cooler things actually that we did was we went to a sister school in Xi'an. So we went to a high school, and we all had partners. So like I had this guy, his American or his English name was Jack. I don't remember what his actual Chinese name is, but if you guys have ever seen my videos, there's a picture with a Chinese.
Lol, no one has. Lol,
with-
everyone's laughing in the
Listen.
comments. Lol. Anyways, what were you
There's a
saying?
picture with a Chinese dragon on it in a frame, and that's actually we exchanged gifts, and that's actually a gift that he gave to me when I was in China that I brought back with me, and I've just held on to it ever since, and it always just sits on my desk, which is kind of
That's
cool.
rad.
That's neat.
So that the actual thing is from on my desk. You see if you watch my videos is from China. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was like we followed them around to like their classes and stuff, and yeah, no, it was a pretty cool experience. They had communist flags everywhere, sickle and hammer. Very cool.
Dude, sick.
That's rad, dude. Fucking commie.
Yeah, definitely
Better
one of the
dead
coolest
than
trips
red.
I've ever been on.
Better dead than red. Better dead than red. Better dead than red.
No, I'm
Better
joking.
What?
than-
I'd be down to
That's
go
great.
see China.
That's some great podcast
Did they?
content right there.
I heard that like people in China, when you're just walking around, you're a white man. You're kind of like a fucking.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
You're like a. It's like seeing an albino horse or something.
Yeah, since back then, I mean, I'm 6'4" now, but back then I was 6'3". I haven't really grown much since that time. So I think the general population of China is getting taller, but in general, they're still mostly like around like on average, they're like a foot shorter than me. There's not at all many people in China who are as tall as me. So it's super rare. So when I think when I was I noticed this most at the Great Wall of China was when the most people were taking pictures with me, or I would just be standing somewhere.
They took
and
pictures
then,
with you.
No, it wasn't even. But here's the thing: it's a different cultural thing, though, because it wasn't even like
It's
they
'cause
were.
they loved
They,
your
they wouldn't even
videos.
come out and ask, because I think they mostly just assumed that you wouldn't know what the fuck they were saying. I think because what they'll do is they'll just. I like caught like 5 people doing this. Like a girl will come up behind me and I'll sense her and I'll turn around and she's like throwing up a peace sign, looking at her friend. And that friend's in front of me and she's taking a picture of me with her. And I was like, I did not consent to this.
You're a landmark, dude. You're a landmark.
Like
What
quite
the
literally.
fuck?
Yeah, I was like, so people would just take like photos with me and then I would just, I don't know. It turned into a thing where I just started, making a joke out of it and like doing something.
That's wild.
weird.
That's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it's totally weird. I think it's definitely it wasn't as bad for me though because I'm brunette. So, but one of my sister's ex boyfriend, Will, when he went to China like years before I did, he's blonde, and they never see that, So he got it like a lot. Like people were always trying to take it. There was like lines. There was, as he remembered it, there was like people who would line up to take photos with him.
What the
That's
fuck?
so weird.
Just, I think one of the things that I was like realizing too when I was at the Great Wall, I was like, "What, man? There's so many." This was like such a stupid thought I remember back in the day, but once I realized like it was dumb. But like a lot of these people, it's like the same thing as like America. Like I don't know how many of you guys have been to Mount Rushmore, but most people haven't. So like going to the
No,
Great
I
Wall of
haven't.
China,
I haven't.
it's like the same thing. Like for people who live in the rural parts of China,
Oh yeah.
it's such in terms of like it like racially it's very much so not diverse in China.
Yeah.
So when they save up all this money and they go and they travel to the Great Wall, they're just seeing people that they have just never seen before in their entire lives. So I
Right.
get it. I get it in that sense, And I think it's just totally different with America because you just see so many different types of people in the U.S. and it's pretty unique in that sense. I think it's becoming less unique as the world gets a little bit more modern and shit, and people are able to.
Still a
get
giant
across the
melting
world
pot.
Oh yeah, so it's like, I get why people were coming up and taking photos because it was just like,
Yeah.
it's just a difference in culture and a difference in like just the way the country is set up. But it was really interesting going there. I definitely want to go back because
Yeah.
I took so many photos. I took like over like 2,000.
I remember
photos, and
I
lost them
watched
all.
I watched this like skate video where people were doing like a tour of China, like a skate tour, and one of the dudes was black with bleached hair, and like every other clip was just like groups of Asian people just staring at him. like everywhere they were, like a
Oh, yeah.
crowd, but only to look at him.
They also don't have any like restrictions on a lot of things. It's like interesting. Like when we were in Xi'an, like you can go, and also in Shanghai, there's like these street markets where you can. What's really fun about being in like these in countries that aren't America, and what's different, I think, a lot of the time is that you can barter for stuff with street vendors.
Oh, you
which
can
just- it
barter
just-
in America.
I mean,
you can barter in
You
America.
can, but like you can't go into a fucking Nordstrom and be like,
Also, you can barter
I'll
on
do
the
it.
SMP. Let's talk about the SMP.
Dude.
well, can I just finish this one statement?
Fine.
They have a bunch of fake designer stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
So
Mexico, too.
For probably like 3 years after this trip, I had this fake Prada wallet I got for like maybe 90 cents. And it just started falling apart, so I had to get a new one. But yeah. Anyways, SMP.
Thanks for letting us know.
All right.
I got a new one. I got it in Seattle. It's great. It's
No,
awesome wallet.
Ted,
I've had
Ted,
It's
you
good
really.
quality too. It's
You
it's
are
made
a
of
talkative
leather.
man.
I got it at Pike Place, which is a pretty
All right,
interesting
Ted.
spot in Seattle.
Ted,
if
we
you've
need
ever
you
been.
to back down.
I yield my time.
Ted, you have been talking for 20 minutes.
I'm sorry. I had a lot to say
I've-
once we started talking about China, man. Give me a break.
we
You cannot deny what I said was interesting and engaging.
Yeah. Okay. All right. How are you guys
Anyways.
feeling about how the SMP has been going?
it's been
Well,
fun.
for anyone that doesn't understand what we're talking about, we have a Minecraft server. A completely different note. We have a Minecraft server for streamers, and it's a big old thing with like 50 people at this point.
Yeah.
Uh,
49.
but it's got the gimmick of people that watch the streams can donate to the streamer, and then that streamer will go and complete a hit on another streamer.
Murder.
Murder, kill, destroy, or prank, if you want to be a nice guy.
That's not always
Pranks
nice.
are also
No, it's
they're
not.
also kind of painful.
My house was turned
My-
into a fishbowl.
My house is consistently ruined, so
Yeah.
it's been interesting.
Get owned.
But I think the server's a real enigma, and I feel like it's the first thing anyone's ever done anything like this in Minecraft. For anyone that doesn't care about Minecraft
As a
listening,
stream,
you
as
should
a
care.
streaming thing.
Yeah, it's not about the Minecraft, really. It's about the fact that we've collected the most absurd combination of individuals into
Yeah.
one setting.
The kid from Gumball. It's
The voice
Wednesday, my
actor.
dudes, Jimmy. You've got fucking Ant Venom. Who,
He's been on twice.
yeah, he hasn't really been on that much, but I mean, it's cool to say that, I suppose, for our past Minecraft loving selves.
Yeah, I want to throw a bunch of the people from SMP on to the podcast at some point in time. just
Yeah.
Let's bring Ant Venom on and rail him with very uncomfortable questions.
like what? What would
I'll
you
lead
ask
the
it?
charge on this.
How frequently do you...
How many
Pipe the
deaths
shit
a
out of
day
your
do
woman.
you think is appropriate?
Oh,
People have to die. How many is appropriate in your view? For starters,
for starters, what?
Just
do
completely end your
you
sentence there.
prefer that pedophiles exist all over or in one enclosed region?
You know
A
there's
dark
an
zone,
island?
if you will.
You know there's an island where they secluded a bunch of pedophiles.
Oh yeah, Australia.
No. Yep, that's factually accurate.
That's not true at all.
100% historically accurate.
I feel like we just slandered an entire continent.
No, we did.
mean-
You
we
shouldn't
did.
feel like you did. We did. It just up
Not
and
a-
up.
It's not really an emotional thing. It's quite
I do not-
objectively true is
we've
what
also
just
said
happened.
Britain doesn't exist.
Because it doesn't. It's a people, not a place.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, I'm just saying, give us Neshoba.
Oh my.
Listen.
None of that. Travis, how do you think your time on SMP Live has been going?
I don't know. It's been very, very up for me recently. Ever since it started, recently. Uh, I got partner through it, which is pretty nice. And
It's like
I wish we had a soundboard
asking
where
a
we could do air
4-year-old
horns.
what they like about something.
What's your favorite color?
what did you say?
Travis, what's your favorite color?
Too hard.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty hard question. I agree. I can't answer that one. Huh, I was asking because I wasn't sure.
It's just like
Wait,
SMP Live has been like a very different experience, like from what else I used to do with this, With this game, it's
Minecraft PvP.
yeah, those are my favorite, dude.
The thing is about SMP, though, after playing Minecraft so much and getting all of my followers from SMP is like, I'm like, maybe I'm going to play another game today. And I'm like, ooh, but I could play Minecraft and people would watch me play Minecraft. I could
Ted,
play.
I want to hear.
What?
I want to hear you do your 6-year-old voice in a conversation with Travis.
Okay.
Just start asking him questions, please. I want to hear this. I want to see what happens.
Hey, Travis,
I
do you
want to
want
let you go loose.
Hey, Travis, you want to invest in a mutual fund with me? My dad said that's something you can do to make money.
I don't have any money.
Yeah, me neither. I only have Monopoly money. That's what my parents give me for allowance.
I accidentally burned all my Monopoly money.
Dude, I put my Monopoly money in a chimney, and I turned the chimney on, and well, we don't live at that house anymore, but, but now we live in the mountains. There's wolves.
You're not even asking him any questions.
No,
You're just making statements.
I don't know why my parents keep getting small dogs, though, because they keep disappearing, so I don't know. I feel like the wolves are, like, a factor in that, so... Anyways, Travis, what's your opinion of wolves? They killed all my dogs. Travis? Wolves? Travis?
They're they're pretty cool.
They're kind of like big doggies. But feral. And they don't have collars, so you don't know what their name is.
You're not even asking me any questions. You're saying things right now.
Well, Travis, I want to know what your opinion of big doggies are.
I just said they're pretty cool, man.
Okay. Okay. What school do you go to? I go to Pinewood. Travis. Where you
Pinewood
go?
what?
Pinewood Elementary School, duh.
Oh,
Stupid idiot.
I've been there before.
You have? Do you know Jared?
No,
Do you know Gregory?
no.
Gregory's my best friend.
Yeah.
He always kind of looked like he had gotten snot coming out of his nose, though, so that's kind of gross, but it's also kind of funny. I don't ever tell him about it.
Does it ever bubble?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I like to take a ruler and see how big it is. One time I got 2 inches. I was like, Gregory, what are you doing, dude? You got a big bubble under your nose. And he says, yeah, I know. That's my best Gregory impression, but
Is Gregory 30?
Is Gregory a teacher?
Gregory's the janitor.
The janitor.
is that why he's always wiping the floor? He's really good with a mop. He's the most talented mopper I've ever seen.
Wow.
One time I saw him fight off the wolves with the mop. I never thought that someone could impale a wolf with a mop, but Gregory surprises me every day. And that's why he's my best friend.
Dude, I swear you could be on like Whose Line Is It Anyway or some shit. Like,
I used to be in an improv group in high school.
oh, that's so good.
That makes a lot of sense.
You said you were a theater kid, right?
Yeah, I did theater. That was mainly what I did.
What kind of stuff did you do for that?
Well, I did musicals and I did plays. I mean, in my first show I was in high school I was Legally Blonde. It was in Legally Blonde. Have you guys seen that?
I've not.
No.
I've heard of it.
I played an admissions officer for like the Harvard, but it was like a bunch of small parts for a while. But I think when I really started to get like comfortable with myself, I guess acting on stage and like being in front of people and like making jokes and shit was when I played Willard in Footloose in my sophomore year in high school.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was a really fun role. But yeah, the improv group I was in, it was called Chuckle Sandwich.
Oh,
And no
that's a
other
good name.
and the thing is, no other improv group I've seen and like heard about from other people's colleges and in my college, I don't think any of them are better names than I think Chuckle Sandwich is such a good name.
Chuckle Sandwich
It
is a
is.
great name.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
like,
good.
that's the one I would hear for like an actual group,
Yeah, exactly.
like a company or a game dev studio. Or
Yeah,
something,
I know, right?
dude.
I really like
Fucking Chuckle Sandwich has
part
a new
of-
indie game they're gonna email you about from PAX.
like part of me like, since it's just a high school group, part of me wants to use that name for something in the future, but I also feel like
Oh,
that
yeah,
would be
that'd
like
be
a
dope.
total diss, but I don't know, I'm holding on to it until the right
That's a
time.
good name.
Maybe if I'm in like a podcast, maybe if I start a podcast like this in the future or something.
What?
What?
No,
This is
I
the
mean,
only podcast
No, I don't know what
that
you're
you're
talking
ever going
about.
to be a
No,
part of. We're
I
going to
bet-
do this into your 50s.
rename
And then you're going to die.
rename Goop Squad rename Goop Squad for the 4th time into Chuckle Sandwich.
No.
Let's not.
That was pretty funny.
I think you should just get a tattoo of Chuckle Sandwich.
Yeah, dude. What would that tattoo look like, though? Like,
It'd be a
just,
fist between bread.
No, that's
Where's the chuckle?
a laughing.
That's
It
a knuckle
says
sandwich.
chuckle under it.
Why wouldn't
That'd
it
be a
just?
sick tattoo, dude.
Yeah, you could make a very terrifying. You could make like a fucking, what's that thing where Josh makes a really disgusting
Brainlet?
drawing? You can make like a brainlet version where it's literally just like someone terrified, like a really scary looking person, but they're laughing, like a very detailed, gross kind of face laughing in between two pieces of bread,
That would be excellent. Like some
Yeah.
fucking like zoom
tearing,
in thing from
tearing eyes veiny.
the hell's it called? Misadventures of Flapjack, like one of the zoom ins where everything's all
Oh.
fucked up and crusty.
Oh yeah, like in SpongeBob too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The ones in Misadventures of Flapjack were next level. Like, did you guys watch that at all?
West. Yeah. Am I
Carson,
referencing it
Travis?
correctly?
Yeah, I watched a
I did
little
not
bit of
watch.
it.
It was
I did not watch.
It was like an acid trip for kids. It was crazy.
Yeah.
There was
There was,
like one
like,
of
this-
the big plot points was that like everyone wanted like the currency or no,
Candy.
the fucking like alcohol was candy and everyone was addicted to candy, on the
Candy
dock.
Island.
And then there was a fucking dentist
There
who
was
was
like
like a creature and he would take you in and like had medieval torture devices to put in your
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
mouth. Like I don't know why the writers hated the dentist so much, but like
I think their mythical goal too is to get to this place called Candy Island.
mhm.
But it was weird. The setting of that show was just, I remember it just being so fucking like lonely and decrepit.
Cuz it
You know?
was.
It was.
Yeah.
It was
really
like a dock that wasn't attached to the mainland. It was just like a stretch of wood in the middle of the ocean with like some fucking like driftwood buildings and that's it.
Yeah, damn. Definitely an apocalyptic setting.
Yeah.
What
You
a
could-
terrible show.
It was fantastic. I loved it.
No, I mean like from the standpoint of like
Should not
Looking
have
at
been
Like
pushed
looking at
through.
it in realistic terms, like, oh man,
Yeah.
their lives sucked. They were living a miserable existence, and we are making a mockery of them.
Speaking of things from our childhoods, I want to talk a little bit about like our favorite games from our childhoods, because I was just thinking about it a lot recently, about how much I wanted to like stream Super Mario Galaxy and stuff, and I was curious what your guys' favorite games from your
How
childhood.
old were you when you played Super Mario Galaxy?
I mean, I got it when I got my Wii, so probably like 10, 11,
Yeah.
around there.
I think that
When did it
what's
come out?
what's interesting about when I grew up with games is that I have like experience with games that like I shouldn't have experience with, because I got a hand me down Nintendo 64 from my cousin. So I started at the Nintendo 64, whereas I feel like most of the people I know started at the GameCube. So like I played like Mario 64. I played like the original Super Smash Brothers. I played like these fucking like racing games and shit. Like I played like GoldenEye, all that stuff. Because it was and so did my neighbor actually because he had a much older brother like by like 8 or 9 years who also had that. So it was like that was just kind of like how I started growing up. And I never actually had a GameCube. I just went straight to a PS2. So
yeah. What ages are we talking? Because
any age. Like
the only time
like
I was
before like your teenage years, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't know. I only ever played video games when I couldn't go outside. Like,
Really?
my friend had a GameCube and he was like played every single game. He had like a bunch of consoles and everything and like a ton of siblings. And like I'd go over to his house occasionally and we'd just fucking tap into the family like change jar, go buy a shit ton of candy and play like Lego Star Wars on his GameCube or something. Like under his bed. It was wild. Like he had one of those super old fucking TVs that's like tiny but like a giant cube.
Yeah.
And he'd plug up his fucking GameCube to it and we'd play like Lego Batman or Lego Star Wars or one of the really old ones.
Must have been Star Wars. I don't know if Batman.
But yeah, probably Star Wars.
This was on PS2?
Yeah, and then like I don't know, I didn't hang out with him that much when I was really, really little. Cause like I don't know. I had friends that I went and skated with, but we'd play that occasionally. And like I've played every game that everyone on here that grew up playing video games like talks about nostalgically once. Like
Right.
I played Modern Warfare 2 once,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
really?
I played Halo 3 once.
Those
Damn.
games
You
were
ever play
so
Star
good.
Wars Battlefront 2?
No.
Like the original, like the 2007 one?
Yeah, nothing.
No, I haven't
The
played that
original
either.
2000 was it 2007?
Yeah, I watched Noah's recent video and he did a comparison, so I know specifically the dates because
Gotcha.
I watched it like yesterday and he referred to them
Shout
as
out to Hugbox, dude.
Yeah.
Noah the Goat.
Battlefront 2007, Battlefront 2019.
Um,
I think
yeah, no, Star Wars Battlefront 2 was incredible.
I never played
I
Battlefront.
thought really?
Yeah,
it was like it's probably my favorite first-person shooter of all time.
I think I may have played it through someone, but I remember always being interested in it. But I think it was just something that I just didn't have access to it. I guess for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
One of the games that's very nostalgic for me that I would go over to my friend Austin's house to play was this game called Jack in the Power of Juju or Tack in the Power
That
of
was a show. That was a show.
It
on
was a show.
Nickelodeon, actually.
It was a show on Nickelodeon, but like years
also a
after
game with it?
it was originally a game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I just remembered something. I had a DS for a while
Yeah.
when I was
Yeah.
like 11, and I 100%ed in every sense of the fucking number. Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. That was the only one I played. It was the most polygonic fucking... It was like, imagine a racing game, but you're on skateboards. So it's like you're racing down a hill in wherever, but you also are doing like tricks the whole time, or like grinding around fucking Rio de Janeiro's like clothing hangers, decrepit, disgusting place. And that was like all I did on that.
Huh.
It was wild.
Yeah, Carson, the Attack of the Power of Juju game came out in 2003, and the show came out in 2007. So it came out 4 years later.
Weird.
Yeah.
What made them think, yes, we should make a show out of Attack of the Power of Juju?
I think the
'Cause it
same
was so
reason
popular.
for most stuff. It was, I remember watching it too. But I just remember that it was like Attack of the Power of Juju. It was like that for some reason. That game I remember was just it was one of them that was like just so nostalgic because we played it all the time. And I don't know how if I remember it to this degree, it must be that we played a shit ton of hours in that game. But more than like it was, I think. And one of the things too is when I was younger, I could like there were times that I just didn't complete games. Like I'd play games and then I would never finish them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I do that now.
Like I never
I
finished.
do that a lot.
I
Yeah,
never
so do I.
like when I was young and when I was originally playing the Mario 64 game, I never finished it because I just couldn't figure out where to find the rest of the fucking stars. Like I just like my brain at that time was just like Go Go Stupid Boy, and like I couldn't fucking figure out where the rest of them were. Or I think it was because my neighbor Daniel told me I needed to find more stars, and I just couldn't find them. Maybe he was lying to me.
Get fucked. Travis, what
Dude,
games?
to the people, wait, to the people who like list our insults and keep track of the ones we come up with, you can now add Go Go Stupid Boy to the list, dude. Right up there with Friction Goblin.
It's like a
person you need to be put down like a dog.
it's like a function of this Inspector Gadget. Go Go Gadget Stupid Boy.
That's so dumb. Travis, what games did you play in your childhood?
Like when I was younger, my mom never like we were very very low income. We couldn't really afford like game systems and stuff like that. So my first game thing was like a Game Boy ever, and I
Right.
was
Yeah, so was mine.
yeah, and
The original vertical one, or was it the SP?
the color Game Boy Advanced.
You just said two different
No,
things.
no, I meant to say the Advanced, not the color. Sorry.
Okay.
It was the
gotcha.
Game Boy Advanced, and I think
Is
I
that
had
the one
like
that
a
flips up.
yeah,
Gotcha.
and I had like this game called Paperboy on it, and I played that all the time. That's the only game I had on it. And like when I was younger,
Well, of course you played it all the time. It was
Yeah.
the only one you
No,
were
but, like,
afforded.
yeah, but I played it much more than I should have. Is what I'm saying.
Oh.
For
gotcha.
like having only one game, it's like the same thing every time.
Yeah.
So, and then the next console or like anything I ever got was a Wii. Like I never had anything in between that.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
The Wii was a big deal.
It
Yeah,
was
it
a
was
big deal.
Huge deal.
The
Everyone
Wii was
bought a
like
fucking
Mine,
Wii.
and it was like an event for
I-
my
My
family.
my
I
family wasn't like none of us played video games, and we
yeah,
bought it.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Like
no,
it,
no,
it
seriously.
just happened.
I was pretty much the only one that played video games, and then when the Wii came out, it was like my whole family got invited. Like it was a present for Christmas to me and my sister.
Yeah,
You know?
same.
But I think that's kind of one of the things I miss about back then when like consoles like that were like they'd be released and it was like such a big deal. Whereas I feel like now it's literally just like, oh, Xbox X, Xbox X Slim, Xbox X. Oh, it's got a propeller on top and it's 4K. Like,
You
Well, to be
can't
fair, they
get
did
your
the same thing
11-year-old
with
a
the Wii.
VR
They did the
headset.
Wii U.
or Wii Fit. Oh, let's talk about Wii Fit.
Dude,
Did
my
anyone really get Wii Fit from Wii?
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
did.
I don't know if this was Wii Fit, but
More
one
like
of
Wii
my
Fat.
like school associates that was really really rich like had a Wii Fit board that was specifically designed as a skateboard for like a Tony Hawk game. Like I don't even know if it worked as a Wii Fit board. All I know is that we didn't even want to play the game, so we just tried to do tricks on it without the fucking thing turned on.
Oh, I know what you're
hilarious.
talking about. I know what you're talking about.
I have no like. That dude had everything. Like
I
you go to his
saw-
house, he had every single thing that was on the market.
Yeah, that sort of like my friend here. Like I never
Yeah.
had. All I had was the Wii up until like the last 2 years of Xbox 360. My mom got me one.
Mhm.
And I had like a lot of games for that, but I would always go to my friend's house who's down the street. He always had like every single game console. He had like the original N64 all the way up to the Xbox 360 at the time. And he had the PS4 as well. Like he had one for every system. And he had
There-
duplicate games for each too, so he could play whatever console we wanted.
There was
was
this
kinda
kid
crazy.
I was friends with in elementary school into like middle schoolish, James, and he and his brother, they both were
Got
just
a name drop. It's important.
well, no, I just like to because there's so many people I'm
James.
referencing from my childhood. But him and his brother were both very, very much so into games for like their whole. He was into like two things: into games and like guitar and like electric guitar and like metal and shit. And they would do these. They were just they got really into the point where they would do stuff where they would like mod their Xboxes and stuff, and they just had like they would like mod the controllers and stuff. And this was like in elementary school, and like he had all of these like really cool stuff. So I would like go over to his house and play games on there for like the longest time. And that's
Yeah.
actually what got me into doing YouTube, because he introduced me to the game Total Miner Builder, which was the game that was kind of like Fortress Craft, which was popular.
I also played Total Miner, dude.
Never heard of
and
that game.
My original
Never heard of
YouTube
it.
my original YouTube account was I guess it was Total Miner. I just said Total Miner Builder. My original YouTube name was Total Miner Builder.
Total Miner was what people on Xbox played to play Minecraft before
Yeah.
Minecraft was on Xbox.
But what was cool about Total
Oh.
Miner was
That's
that
wild.
you could go way, way deeper than you can in Minecraft. Way deeper.
Yeah, you go to you dig straight to hell, right?
You could just it wasn't even that. It was like there was more pickaxes you could make too. It was beyond diamond. I think the number one
What year was this?
this I don't know, maybe like 2008 or something.
Like,
Must have been.
no,
No, actually
Total Miner
2010.
was not.
2010.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I made my Total Miner Builder account in 2011, so I must have been playing for a
Because-
little while by then.
Around 2011, dude, I was playing all of the
You could
cutting edge Minecraft mods. Like
there would
they
be-
had
there would-
they had everything.
I think there was like 3 levels beyond a diamond pickaxe, and I think the final one that you get was a titanium pickaxe. So like,
Lucky.
yeah, so it was like you could go fucking deep. I don't know. I get a lot of
It was
nostalgia. I
like,
get more nostalgia
whoa.
from that game than I do from Minecraft, honestly.
Yeah,
What?
no, I went straight into Minecraft,
I don't know,
dude.
Carson. Don't you get a shit ton of nostalgia from fucking Total Miner Builder?
No.
No, I played that game a lot.
I
But not too much though,
You-
because my parents had
I-
control over how long I could play games on my Xbox.
Yeah, so
for, like,
did
the longest
mine.
Time.
So
Like,
did
I had like a
mine.
2-hour
Oh.
limit.
I will put it this way: I have spent over 10K hours in Minecraft. I've not spent more than 50 in Total Miner.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, from 2011 to 2013, or more like to 2014, I was doing videos on Minecraft. So, and that
Same.
was all I played. Which is weird. Which is weird coming into the SMP Live server now and just feeling like I'm a total fucking boomer and don't know a fucking damn thing about Minecraft anymore because there's just so much more
Yeah.
than what was originally in the game. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
I think that's like what
I
me
feel
and
like a total
Travis
idiot
have.
because my chat's always just telling me like, "Oh, you need to do this shit." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, so I think Mason did a prank on me where he put a bunch of chorus trees around my end trees or whatever around my garden stuff, which actually ended up looking pretty cool. So I kept a bunch of them. But then someone in chat was like, "Eat the chorus fruit," and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I ate the fruit, and then I'd like teleport somewhere. I'm like, "Okay, like that's new." It's probably been around for like a year and a half, but probably more.
Longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck me, seriously.
Cooper and I are like in the same boat, but like different. We still played, but we were on like the same version for like forever.
Yeah,
We never
no,
switched off.
it's like ever since like 2012. Like I only played survival Minecraft in like 2011 for like,
Yeah, like when
half
I first
a
got
year.
the game.
And then I started playing fucking survival games. And then since then, like, I barely played survival. And then you guys were, like, making SMP videos daily during that time. And I just did not play survival.
Yeah, like
So it's like I was on the game, but not really, you know?
I was
How
first.
big that was?
It was so fucking
It was
crazy.
so big, dude. And the whole Minecraft YouTube community, that was crazy, dude. That was like, I mean, I'm half kind of happy that it's over and half kind of like, but I look back on it fondly in a way.
Oh,
but it
God.
Was, but it was so oversaturated to the point where
It's like Fortnite now on YouTube.
but it was
I'd
like,
put
Fortnite's
gallons
having the
of
same
lead in my
effect.
head if I
Here's
had
the
to
thing,
go back
though.
to making PvP videos.
here's the thing though. I think it was kind
You
of
drink
different
G
though.
Fuel?
It was kind of
Yes.
different though with the whole Minecraft community thing because I remember with like Skydo's Minecraft, he was the biggest, but he would literally just do this thing where he'd like, oh, my friend, I think his name he went by like Kermit or something. Oh, my friend wants to make YouTube videos. Okay, here, make YouTube videos with me. Dude gets like ends up with like 2 million subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
It's just these like the people who are watching these videos, these kids would just watch it all and they would watch all of it.
Yeah, why do you think people like McCreamy just fucking upload and
Like
then a day later they
Jerome,
have 2 million
like-
views?
Yeah.
It's
It
just
was-
the kids. It's powerful.
It was a very strange time because I think I was also maturing a little bit at that point too, so I was seeing it happen, so I remember it in like a very different way than I remember,
Yeah.
doing Total Miner and like just playing games for what they were. Because I feel like
Yeah.
the people who were back then, they would look back on the whole Minecraft thing and they're like, oh, that was a period of time where I got to watch all of these personalities. Whereas, I guess from the way that we look at it, it's more like, because we were a little bit older at the time, I think we look at it as more of a
An
just
industry.
an age
Yeah,
in
yeah.
age, like a generation.
Hmm.
Which is like, I don't know, it's weird.
I think the
kinda-
best time would be to like be watching all the Minecraft people. I think that was the best era
Yeah.
of Minecraft YouTube that has
I
ever
never
existed.
watched any of them growing up.
That's
To
unfortunate.
people who don't know what Minecraft is, please explain.
Mindcrack.
did that have a mod?
Mindcrack was the very first recorded SMP on Minecraft in like 2010. I think it started.
And what's an SMP?
It wasn't streamed.
Survival multiplayer. It was not streamed. There was barely streaming. I don't even think Justin TV had like 1,000 members yet. Keemstar wasn't even screaming bad things on there yet. Fucking it was purely they logged on, turned on Fraps, played the
Yeah.
game for 30 minutes, talked, and then turned off Fraps, and then either just uploaded the raw footage
Or got
or
a
like
bunch done and then started again. Kind
or
of thing.
just did something like audio editing or something. They just didn't. It was unedited, but it was like they weren't child entertainers. They were just people,
Yeah.
and it was like a totally different dynamic than like the child-friendly Minecraft YouTubers. Then it was like more of a community, I guess.
Did you guys ever watch Frankie on PC in 1080p?
No.
No, but I know he cheats in CS:GO.
I don't know. He used to make these like DayZ and like other like large scale survive. I don't even know if he still makes them, but there was like always kind of like a story behind them, and they were pretty much scripted, but like I that the certain energy I think of it behind that is similar to what because I think I saw you. I remember you talked about Minecraft with me the other day. And I didn't know what you were talking about, but I definitely did watch that stuff. I just didn't remember the name of it and stuff. I just remember it as being very, very like calmer. It was like a story kind of thing.
It was more of just like a calm like let's play, but with other people, and they just
Yeah.
do goofy shit. It's great. Like they started the whole like pranking thing and all that. It was
Yeah.
great. Damn.
Anyways.
Oh, how far we have fallen.
Motherfuckers who grew up watching Solar Flare, I'm so sorry.
What's solar flare?
Fucking don't even think about it.
What's solar flare?
JC's
Survival
favorite
games
YouTuber.
Okay.
It's survival games YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after
You guys
after
are just throwing out so much stuff that people aren't gonna understand. You guys
Oh,
gotta,
absolutely.
you guys
I'm
gotta
sorry,
think
I'm
about
sorry,
this
I'm
in
sorry.
the future, guys.
Hey,
Sorry.
I have something to talk about that doesn't
Okay.
have anything that would confuse people. When I was talking about the dude I knew who played video games when he was young boy, I'd go to his house and he was my only friend who had a trampoline and it didn't have a net or anything. It was just so sus, and we'd like jump off his fence onto it and shit. And then it had no net and it was next to a pool, so a lot of really bad choices. But his neighbor, like I'm going off the topic at the very bottom, which is the dumbest person. He's not the stupidest.
Who's the dumbest person you
he's-
ever met?
He's not mentally the dumbest person I've ever met, but he's dumb physically. Like he's clumsy. He just everything he did was it's like his brain did not connect the synapses to his fucking legs and arms. And every time he would come over to hang out with us, and he's like a year older or something would go horribly wrong. Like the first time I hung out with him, we didn't have anything to play baseball with except the end of a broom and like a basketball. And so I was standing in line and he fucking like to swing at it. And he swung and missed the basketball and hit me in the face with the broom and broke my braces.
Jesus.
Yeah, like violently. It was crazy.
That reminds me of Gregory.
Yeah, Gregory, fucking 30-year-old hitting children.
Hitting wolves
And then the the next week
with his mop.
we were jumping on the trampoline and we were throwing frisbees onto it to try and catch it midair, and he threw it way too hard and hit my friend in the face and chipped his front tooth with a frisbee, like a plastic frisbee.
Yo, that
I think the bitch deserved
pretty-
it.
No, he didn't.
he deserved it, I can tell.
No,
Dude,
but,
I can tell with a stupid grinning face that got chipped by a plastic frisbee.
Yeah.
If someone's tooth is weak enough to get chipped by a
Listen, if
plastic
anything-
frisbee, they deserve it.
If anything of substance is going fast enough, it can chip a fucking tooth, Carson. Trust me.
Piece
I
of
have
feather.
experience.
Yeah, but a plastic frisbee, that's pretty beta. if you-
They're
Yeah.
dense. They're pretty dense.
So are bullets.
Yeah, bullets are dense, and bullets could chip teeth and brain.
I'm not
But-
sure about
Doubt it.
that.
I want to test. I'll get my fucking 50. No, I don't want to make that joke.
Here's a question for you guys.
Hmm.
When you guys were growing up, were you guys like sport kids, or were you like imagination kids?
I was
Both.
an imagination kid.
Yeah.
What do you mean by imagination?
Like when I was younger, my idea of what was fun to do for the longest time was make up stories and like quite literally just like as a kid just like role play shit, you know?
Yeah,
But like it
yeah.
wasn't like fucking role playing because you were a fucking kid.
Playing pretend.
Yeah, I would call it quite literally like imagination games pretty much, and like just that was
Yeah,
that
no,
was
I did the same thing.
yeah, that was what I was into. But like on the other side of it, there would be like my friends like Pierce and Will, and what they like to do, that was their main thing. They like to play the imagination game and stuff, but they more gravitated towards like, playing like fucking
Sports.
wiffle ball and basketball. And shit,
Yeah.
or like riding bikes around. I mean, like, yeah, riding bikes around was kind of a all around kind of a appeal. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, Cooper, were you imagination or a sport kid?
Both.
Both. Okay.
I was
I don't know
almost-
if I don't know if you can count skating as imagination, but
No.
me and my friends would like weave it between that shit. Oh, I mean, actually, we did do like illegal shit too when we were little. So
I
And
tried
we'd, like-
getting into skating for a
Illegal
while.
Stuff.
I can
you
kind
know
of do an
the
ollie.
normal like trespassing, destruction of property.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah,
Oh.
the norm.
No, but
It was,
did,
I agree.
Did you guys ever play like Cops and Robbers?
Yes.
Like,
oh yeah.
I don't
Yes,
know if
yes.
this is the
I
game
do
I'm
not have
thinking of.
friends.
Or
Oh,
sardines.
unfortunate. No, it was a game where you'd like go out at night and then you'd try and dodge headlights, like
Oh,
cars
that's
would
chicken.
drive.
That's straight up chicken, bro.
No, not in the middle of the street, but like you try and stay out of the light whenever a car came by,
Oh, interesting.
and you try and make it to like, because I live on a hill, so we try to make it to the top of the hill without like being seen by any light scene. But no one's looking for us.
That's
but
so interesting. I feel like I must have played something of similar. nature
No,
to
I've
that.
never. I've never done
Hmm.
that.
I don't know what we called
Like,
it. It's like Secret
what-
Agent or some shit. I don't
We
remember.
would play this game called Sardines, but I forget completely what it was.
Was it
But
like hide and seek, but everyone sits in the same place and squeezes into a spot?
It was something that had to do with hide and seek.
Or was it just
I-
see how many people you can fit in a small space? Because I've done both of those.
I don't know. I feel like it was a hide and seek thing, but then the Sardines name just doesn't
Right.
complement that in the slightest. So,
Yeah.
Did your parents ever make you play the game How Long Can You Stay in the Bathroom For?
No.
I don't think my parents liked me very much.
What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about?
Did your parents ever have you play How Long Can You Stay in the Closet For without being seen?
No, but my
I
parents
was-
always made me
No.
play How Long Can You Stay Quiet For?
How long?
Oh,
can
the
you keep your
quiet
mouth shut?
game.
here's a
Yeah.
good real question though.
How long can you keep this piece of duct tape over your mouth?
Here's a good real question though.
How
Like,
long
what
can
are,
you
like,
keep your
I
hands
won.
bound?
What are some like
Ted, shut up. We're railing off jokes here, and you're just like, dude, I have an idea. Listen, I'm Ted. Listen, this is gonna be awesome.
Listen, Carson, I just got to tell you, man, my idea's just so much better than yours. Come on.
Like everyone else in the call is making jokes, and you're just like, dude, but listen, guys,
I have
guys,
this crazy game we
let's
played
get
when
this
I was
back
younger.
on track here.
All right, listen, assholes. I will take each and every one of you out over the course of the next 20 years if you don't cut this out right now. They will all be in very sadistic, painful ways.
There was this game that I played when I was younger. It was called Sharks and Minnows. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where you like, there's one person in the middle.
You mean
and, like-
fishy cross my ocean?
No.
Your friends must have been retarded because that's the dumbest name I ever heard.
It's called Fishy Cross My
No,
Ocean.
it was called Sharks and Minnows where I was.
What do they say when they
It's
want
called Sharks and Minnows to every established area.
But what does the shark say when they allow the people to cross?
No, you would just once everyone was across and then the person was ready, everyone would go.
Oh, they didn't announce by saying
I have a question.
Fishy Cross My
no,
Ocean.
no,
When you guys
Then
played,
how would they know?
because everyone would be on the wall, and then it would be dude. Everyone's there, everyone's ready, and then they would go across. No,
Travis came
Chant
from a
must be
telekinetic
spoken.
village.
The Fishy Cross My Ocean chant must be delivered.
Ted, you have just only said names that are so foreign to the rest of us.
Shut up. You don't know anything about Gregory.
Like sardines and fishy cross my
Well,
ocean. Those are just
In my
completely-
defense, I didn't even really know what sardines was. I just remember it used in multiple occasions. in
I
my
have a
childhood.
question for everyone. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys ever play Marco Polo?
Yes, all the time.
Who the fuck is Mark? I'm just kidding. I have.
Yeah. What were the rules?
I did not have friends.
If
I
you're
remember
talking
there
about in a
being
pool, like are you talking in a
specific
pool?
rules about like getting out of the pool and saying like fish out of water, but like
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
always
yeah.
a different set of rules. I'm curious.
Like
I-
only for me, the only person who could call fish out of water was like the person saying Marco. Like if you
Right.
could hear someone get out of the water and you successfully call it, then you have to get back in.
Or-
That's
I
how,
don't
like,
know
fish
that
out
they
of
would
water
lose.
called.
Yeah, it was just lose, but sometimes
That's-
people would be like, "You just can't get out of the water." Like
Yeah,
you,
you
auto-
can't. You
automatically,
will-
like
for, like-
like you're not allowed to at all.
Yeah, for my group of friends, like you
And then
could
I just
stay
break
in
the rules.
Like relatively, the pool wasn't that big either,
Mm.
because none of us had in-ground pools. So like there were like
circular
above ground
ones?
pools, yeah, the
Yeah,
small
yeah.
circle ones. So it was only fair to let you get out of the water. But if you were
Yeah.
successfully called, you have to get back in.
How the fuck? Those don't have decks, do they?
No, they had like little ladders to get out.
You, like roll over the whole thing onto the grass or some shit. Like
No, there's ladders, but you could hear like the water
Oh,
drip
okay.
out like when someone gets out. You know?
What's-
yeah. I know what you mean.
I definitely remember those games, and furthermore, I remember those games, like those pool games, always resulting at least once someone getting like fucking injured.
Yeah, people slipping on the
Like like one time,
I chipped my tooth when I fell at a pool one time.
Really?
Whoa.
I've never fallen at a pool.
really.
I tried to do a backflip off the side thing, and I hit my chin on the coping as I came
Oh
down.
my god, that's literally my worst fucking fear.
Oh yeah, no, I jump so
Or-
far out when I
not
do
my
flips
worst,
now.
One of them. That's
Oh my god.
yeah, that's fucked. That's literally just.
It
like,
was. I
'cause
mean,
everyone can imagine that.
I don't have fucking permanent teeth damage, so I must have gotten really lucky.
Yeah. One of the stupidest things I've done. This is to answer who was the dumbest person you ever met. That person is me. Because one time I tried to race my friend Austin. He was on the bike, I was on foot, and I was like, I'm fast, I can race you. So we raced from one part of the street to get to my driveway. So we are racing, we get to my driveway. At the time, we didn't have a paved driveway. My driveway was just like fucking gravel.
Yeah, mine
So at a
was
certain
too.
point, I tripped, and then I landed on my knee, and I totally fucking skinned the shit out of my left knee. That I still have a scar on my knee today from it, and it was fucking bad, dude. It was like a big fucking gash on my knee.
That story
Wow.
reminded me of something. Like, have you guys? That just reminded me, and I didn't want to forget. But have you guys ever, say, like you're driving a car, like say your parents are, and you get a rope, and like you're on a skateboard, and you're like being pulled behind it or something,
Oh,
or someone's
wait.
on a bike.
We just grabbed like the wheel well of the back
Really?
tire, yeah,
Yeah.
or the
That's-
bumper, and they
See,
go
I've
really
always
slow.
I've always wanted to do something like that, but that just sounds like nothing any person I
Well-
knew who was an adult would allow.
When me and my friends were like teenagers, we'd just do it to random people. Like on residential streets when they were going slower, we'd just grab.
Dude, you
And
were a
skate
fucking
behind it.
delinquent.
Kinda,
He
yeah.
really was. He really was.
For the
Did you
like,
like,
wasn't-
did you like throw fireworks into elders' homes?
No.
and shit? Like,
Nothing malicious against other people. Just like dangerous
golf clubs
things.
to the knees of the
Nah, nah,
executives.
Firebomb any places?
No, not yet.
okay.
Have you robbed a
Um,
bank when you were 5? Tell me the truth.
I couldn't. I don't think I had the strength to hold a gun when I was 5.
I have an
Tried
answer to
hold up
the.
an object.
What a fucking pussy.
I have an answer to the who's the dumbest person you've met. Well, it's also me. So I was just I was in a parking lot, and I was just
Yeah.
walking. There's a rock on the ground, so I was like, how far can I throw this rock? So I threw the rock and it totally shattered someone's window. Like
I did
someone's
the
car
same
window.
thing. No, okay. I didn't do the same thing exactly. Have I told this story already? Fucking, I skimmed a rock on the pavement and it hit a curb and bounced off the curb into someone's back window.
Yeah, no, that's not what happened to me. I just
Yikes.
picked it up, threw it in the air, and it hit someone's window.
See, Travis is actually imagining like a long throw, but what we really know is he was right beside the car and just like gently tossed it in.
No, like I was in a parking lot, and this parking lot's pretty long, and it definitely shattered someone's window. Like there was no window there. Well, there was because how windows work, but it was there. But it was
Hey.
like you could not see through it at all.
In my defense, we would throw rocks against the ground, like skim them all the time because the dog liked to chase them. Their neighbor's dog. Okay.
What? Would you make the dog basically eat rocks?
No. You just kick it around.
So, anyways, guys, that is going to do it for today's Goopcast episode. Let us know your thoughts on the topics down below. Subscribe to, well, actually, Ted and Travis Cooper, what things do you want to plug? You got anything to plug?
Follow me my
Well,
YouTube.
depending on when this video comes out, I have a video from PAX East, the next Milkman video. The last podcast I was on, I promoted my original Milkman video. This podcast, I'm promoting my new Milkman video. That's me interviewing with people at PAX East, and it's hip and it's hot, baby.
Yeah, actually, I don't know what to because I don't know when this is gonna come out. Because right now I'm pretty close to 25K.
What? Literal heresy on that. How this is happening. I am beyond baffled by this.
Watch my gaming subtitled videos.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for today, guys. We'll be back next week. Thank you for watching. Later.